Hey, good to see everybody right here on 5 News Plus with an extended version of 5 Outdoors. This one is a fun one. We're looking ahead about a year away to a really exciting event that's returning to Beaver Lake. It's Major League Fishing's Bass Pro Tour, returning for the first time in several years. This morning we're joined with Joe from Major League Fishing. Joe, tell me about the last time you guys were at Beaver Lake.
Gosh, it's been a few years, Scott. I want to say 2017.
Okay.
Up to that point, it had been an annual stop on the FLW Tour. FLW was acquired by Major League Fishing in 2019, and since then, it has never returned to Beaver Lake. You know, we've held tournaments up at Lake Ouachita and Lake Hamilton
Sure.
and things like that. But returning to Beaver Lake is something we're extremely excited about. We've got so much history on that fishery, being an annual stop for dozens of years. We're looking forward to seeing some old friends, some old faces, and returning to the fantastic fishery that is Beaver Lake.
What do the anglers say about Beaver Lake? The ones that are not from here, that aren't going to be local participants. When you put Beaver Lake on their schedule, what are their thoughts?
Well, it was so fun to see, and that was one of the great things about it being an annual stop every year, is how the fishery improved so much over the years. I mean, when we first started coming to Beaver Lake, we were seeing, an average fish size of, maybe, 1.5 to 2 pounds, and the guys would come in with a 5 bass limit, weighing, 10 to 15 pounds, and that was typically a really good day.
Okay.
By the end of kind of the era of FLW back then, in 2017, in our last visit, we saw the average fish getting up to, 3.5, 4 pounds, and we were typically regularly seeing, 20 plus pound 5 bass limits. So to see the fishery improve, over that stretch was really, really fun. And everybody's excited to get back and seeing what's happened in the last 7 years, because in the 7 years prior to that, it had improved so much. Expecting to see a ton of fish caught. That's what Beaver Lake is very well known for. It's loaded with fish, and guys are really excited to just be a part of the historical aspect of it.
So talk to me a little bit about how this tournament works. We're talking the 50 best anglers from around the country coming in, but some may fall out of that 50 category. Some may be new. Those that might be unfamiliar kind of want to know, what does this contest look like?
The Bass Pro Tour over the last couple of years has gone in we're phasing down the field. Last year we were at 80 anglers, and over these next 2 seasons we're cutting the bottom 15 to get down to that 50 mark. So this year we're competing with 65 anglers, and we'll cut 15 anglers at the end of this year and get down to that 50 mark. So that means that we really don't know who's going to be at Beaver Lake yet. We still have one event in the season to go this year that's going to be kind of the big decider of who's in and who's out. But that being said, by April next year, we're going to have the top 50 best anglers in the world, and they're going to be the ones that are out there competing on Beaver Lake. Bass Pro Tour tournaments have an official in each boat, so we're going to have 50 officials out on the water as well. As soon as a fish is caught, it's immediately weighed, logged into our score tracker leaderboard system, and then released right back into the water. Within seconds, this takes place. So at all times, anglers and fans know the score. They know exactly what weight the leader has or how much they need to catch the leader. And when time expires, there is no weigh-in. There is not people bringing back any fish to the scales. When time expires, we know who won the event. So it's really intense way of tournament fishing, unlike anything that's ever been seen before, but it's so exciting, and we know that the fans in Rogers are going to love it.
Yeah, no question about it. So with no official weigh-in at the end, what opportunities are there for locals to come out and spectate, if you will?
Sure. So with no weigh-ins in place, Bass Pro Tour has what are called watch parties. We'll, just like the old FLW days, we would go out to the Walmart parking lots and set up the big circus almost. And we still do that to some point, but the circus now has giant big screens that are showing the competition and what's going on the water in real time. So fans are watching the competition itself, they see the game play out, and then after the game, the anglers return to the stage, talk about what just happened, talk about their day, and meet and greet the fans. And that's kind of the old school nod to how the weigh-ins used to take place.
So 50 anglers, 50 officials, probably plenty of folks that you work with on a day-to-day basis at MLF. There's a lot of folks, a lot of boats coming to town. There's a pretty noticeable economic impact to the local community, I would imagine. Anything you could say to that?
Sure. I mean, you're absolutely right. In addition to the anglers and the officials, we've got staff, we've got families, we've got fans that travel all over from across the Midwest that will be coming in. Everybody's going to be staying in your hotel, eating at the restaurants, buying your gasoline. That's a huge economic impact when the Bass Pro Tour comes to town. And it's something that we're extremely proud of. It's something that a lot of cities, clamor for, and that's one of the reasons why it's taken us so long to get back to Rogers and Beaver Lake. But we're glad to have it back in the rotation, and so excited to be coming back to Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, we're really proud you're going to be coming back too. Let me ask this, your last question for you. We've talked all about it, and we're going to keep talking to you over the next year or so. What dates do we need to circle on the calendar? What's that window that we're looking at?
Sure. So the 4-day tournament takes place April 30th through May 3rd. Now, the second and third are going to be the Saturday, Sunday. That's the day where the big fan activation and the watch party is going to be taking place. But you're going to see anglers trickling into town, very soon in the coming months before the lake goes off limits. A lot of times anglers will come up and pre-practice at some of these fisheries before it goes off limits to them and they're not allowed to practice anymore. And then, a week prior to the event, it opens back up again. And you're going to see those guys in town taking advantage of every minute that they can to break down Beaver Lake.
I love it. Joe, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of 5 Outdoors. Let's stay in touch for the next year or so, and certainly look forward to welcoming you back into Beaver Lake. That'll do it for this edition. We'll see you back here next week for more.